What is up, Bills Mafia? It's your boy Randy, and of course Zach Bass as always, here to
What's happening?
discuss the game, a little bit of the upcoming game, kind of what are our next steps here, and answer any questions that anyone has for
you.
So on behalf of, first of all, I want to talk about something that's been on my chest. This is a Randy rant. This is going in the podcast. My mustache is growing unevenly, and
yeah, I've noticed
it's really running away. And I feel that I need to acknowledge for the people that are listening or watching the podcast more so that I know this is happening. I don't care. I'm gonna let it continue to run away to the right there.
Perfect. I went ahead and got our thing posted on the Facebook page and on our Twitter.
Okay.
I don't have access to our Instagram. That's Jameson, so we'll just leave it as that right now. So, while we wait on some people, I figured one thing we can kind of talk about. Well, first things first, let's just go ahead and talk about the last game. We didn't get to do that last night. It was kind of a crowded environment while we wait on people. Wow, what a great game. I mean, that was the best case scenario because there really wasn't anything better that could happen. We wanted to win. We expected to win. I think even you said Bills by a billion. I said by a zillion. And yeah, we came out and won by 40. Nice shutout.
Yeah, I'm not upset at all with how that game went. I needed a game like that because I think my heart couldn't take more of the gut wrenching that was going on with our offense. I needed a nice, easy game to get me relaxed and back into football mode.
Yeah, I really felt like our defense came into their own. I'm sure you, just like me, was freaking out at that first interception by Josh Allen. Like, here we go. And then he even had his very next pass after the Bills forced a 4-and-out, ended up airing it over the receiver again. And so I was thinking, the rain's getting to him. I don't know what's going to happen. And he finally kind of got in a rhythm and really got to driving the football down the field. There was times I don't think we were able to finish, obviously, and score touchdowns. But, man, Tyler Bass single-handedly won me my fantasy league this week. So that was exciting.
Yeah, T-Bass showed up. I mean, he helped me win, too. I had a pretty close fantasy matchup, but your boy is still 4-0 in fantasy this year in my most important league. Hey, Michael.
What's going on, Michael?
Viva Los Bills. Indeed, dude. Viva Los Bills, indeed. So we're just here talking about last game. If you have any questions about the tailgate as well, we're here to answer those. So we're kind of doing a multi-purpose podcast here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tweet this out for our Bills Backers KC account so that people know we're live. There we go.
And if you didn't see it, Randy last night did a terrible take of jumping through a table. Solid 5.9 on my scale. You got ripped to shreds on Facebook over that.
Yeah. I mean, and deservedly so. It was my first table jump, admittedly, and probably my last. The table was a lot smaller than I anticipated. He bought kind of like a child's table from Walmart. So it folded faster than the Chiefs defense is going to fold on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said you might throw somebody through a table. But I don't on Sunday, didn't you say that?
I mean, if they bring the table, I'd consider it. I think I'm much more built for throwing than I am for going through tables.
Yeah, and plus you didn't really get the elevation. If you would have been jumping off a bus or something, you might have had better execution.
Yeah, but the table jumps there. I will say I think it's in the running for most production value on a table jump. I mean, they had a camera taped to the table. They had a cell phone camera shooting up from the ground. They had 2 television cameras keyed in on me. So underwhelming, I think, for the amount of production value that was there.
Yeah, I'm hoping after post it improves the look of the table jump because that one angle just really didn't work. I think we even heard a little bit of laughing at one point, and I think it was Rick. Rick had his mic right under his on his collar, and he laughed, and then he said, "Oh shit, I had my camera or my mic on."
Well, we're
So
gonna have
it
to
picked
cut
up
that
his laugh.
audio anyways.
but
Oh
it
man.
was great. I mean, you were the one person who was willing to do it, and yeah, you were skeptical. You didn't want to show that Bills fans only jump on tables, which
Well,
we
no,
do much more than that.
yeah. I didn't want to perpetuate the stereotype of the Bills fan drunkenly jumping on tables. I have no problem with table jumping though. It just do it safely. I don't think like the ones where they're setting it on fire. That's probably where I draw the line.
It's all right as long as they don't burn to death. What the kids think about your table jump? They love it.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. Was showing it all day, and kids loved it. So it was a hit. Let's put it that way. Very interested to see kind of how that whole thing gets cut together for the broadcast. For those of you who don't know, if you're a KC local, you will see me on the pregame show. If you're not at the game on NBC, it's the local pregame show, jumping through a table, and mistakes.
And they might even showcase our podcast for a second or two. We kind of did that last night. It was kind of out of our norm, out of our element per se. We were down at the bar, and Randy was connecting to his hotspot, and we were doing it an hour earlier than what we said on one post, and an hour late than we said on the other, and yeah, it was a mess. So that's kind of why we decided to do this, to give everybody who may be watching a chance to ask any questions regarding the game. We know there was a lot of questions and concerns about, what am I doing? One question I've seen come up a lot was, can you walk in if you're Ubering? Absolutely. You don't need a parking pass. Don't buy one. Just walk through the gate. We will be tweeting out our location as soon as we're all set up.
Yeah, as soon as we pull into the spot, I'm going to drop a pin and drop that map for people to find. So that is going to be great. That's Sunday. Saturday's coming. Well, Friday. Let's start with tomorrow. There's nothing official for tomorrow. I just wasn't busy enough to come up with any ideas, but there is always the encouragement to go check out Al's Bar and Grill, which is our hometown Bills bar. So if you're in town and you want to check it out, I strongly advise you to go there. They are a small bar, so just be aware that, you might go there and it might be swamped with Bills fans. But that's kind of the way I'd like to see it this weekend.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping that, we're trying not to oversell it, just knowing capacity there. Without the tents out back this year, there's definitely going to be a lot less room, but we don't have the COVID restrictions that we had previously. So I'm sure that place is going to be crowded. If you're wanting to get there early, because showing up late, you're not gonna get in the bar. It's just not gonna happen. I expect that to be crowded.
Yeah, speaking of COVID restrictions, something that people may want to be acutely aware of is Kansas City, the proper city of Kansas City, still has a mask mandate for being indoors at bars and restaurants when you're not eating. That was an aptly timed cough, by the way, right when I brought up COVID. Nice work, Zach. But you will still need to have some sort of face covering when you're in the city proper. If you're in any of the suburbs, they don't have the mandatory mask policy. That's just strictly in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, you won't need it in the stadium unless you go in like the team store or something like that. And I know at the Royal Stadium, they were actually handing out masks as you were going into the areas that they required it. But as far as in the concourse or in your seats, not required. And yeah, so that's a good thing. And then Al's is not there. So yeah, no mask mandate at Al's.
Yeah,
so,
Al's is also out of the jurisdiction. So
I will say Power and Light is pretty lax with their mask mandate. If you have a drink in your hand, it's kind of the out. You can pretty much walk around without getting in trouble.
So that's a good COVID update. Enough about that, but more about Friday. So checking out Al's at Friday. So what's your go-to at Al's, Zach, for food? Obviously wings, but is there anything else that you've tried? I've been expanding my menu there.
Well, I used to eat medium wings there because I was always, being from this area, it seems like you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, they overdo the hot. It's more of just super heat and no flavor. definitely do the hotted ales. He's got a lot of good flavor in them. They are hot and they're pretty hot, but they're not. They've got good flavor to them. Also, cheese curds are pretty good there. Not gonna lie. French fries, real cheap. I mean, you can't beat the deal on
Crinkle cut
those.
fries, yeah, easy.
Crinkle cut fries, yeah, great when you're drinking, and of course Labatt Blue. But you heard it on my podcast a few weeks ago. I said that we were going to sell out of Labatt Blue. I was talking about Taps on Main. I had the wrong bar because I'm pretty sure from what we've heard from Al's is it will be in limited capacity. So I expect to sell out of that Friday because I will be up there around open. So watch out. Let's go.
Yeah, you will most certainly be there on Friday. I'll probably be up there on Friday from 4 to 7-ish. And then I got to get home because I forgot that I also am the person in charge of smoking all of our meats for for us at our tailgate. We're not providing food. That's something else we should bring up. Hey, we're not providing any food. I am cooking up some pork for the people that are in the immediate, Kansas City family. And I'm sure if there's extras, we will open that up to people, but don't bank on that.
Yeah, definitely bring something. We've got, how many grills did you say? 3 of them?
We will have at least 3 grills, probably more, but at least 3.
Okay, so we'll have 3 grills. Bring anything you want to throw on there. If you've got, of course, got multiple people, you're more than welcome. Bring a side, whatever else, but stuff to throw on the grill, and we'll have very little room in coolers. So if you have a cooler, try to bring it because it's probably going to be hard to get space in there, but there will be a little bit of room.
I may be bringing a bonus cooler, so I'll have my cooler with my stuff in it, but I might bring an extra cooler that's not – I'm not going to put ice in it probably, but it'll at least give you some insulation, and people can just throw beers in there if they're already cold.
We're lining up right around, or we're trying to get over to the stadium around 1:30. So what my hope is if you show up a little bit later than that, let's say 3 o'clock, I expect to have plenty of cooler space for you in my cooler. So that's kind of my goal there. But
I gotta ask, you being a new father, how's this going over with the wife?
I think it's one of those things when you drop $200 on tickets, she says, have as much fun as you can. And plus I'm going with her dad. So, so there's a lot of trust there. So I'm actually going to be going with 3 Chiefs fans. So they will be at our tailgate. But they're not the kind that are going to run their mouth. There are fans they're older Chiefs fans, like, the previous generation that has put up with losing for many years. So they know what it's like and they're not going to run their mouths. So we're just gonna have a good time. They're gonna bring some sides as well, and we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah. So tailgate Sunday, everyone's welcome to join us. We're hoping to have. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we get at least 7 or 8 cars. It seems like I'm getting more and more people who are saying they're driving, who are messaging me and saying we're going to be at the caravan. So if we get 7 or 8 cars all lined up, we can have a nice little not to steal a copyrighted word from the Buffalo Bills, but we'll have a nice little boulevard. That's one of those dumb things that they're doing. I don't know. I shouldn't say it's dumb. I've never done it.
I would expect that we'll probably have a couple hundred people at our tailgate at least one time, for sure, because everyone's going to be looking for other Bills fans. That's kind of what I'm seeing. As Randy was saying, the amount of messages he's gotten from you guys throughout the week, he's thinking there could be as much as 200,000 people coming into town with the amount of messages he's gotten. So
yeah, the last I checked, it was 250,000 coming into town this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be good. Saturday, we kind of skipped over at Oktoberfest. We've previously talked about it.
Yes.
So that will be going on. Was that starting at 3 o'clock or I can't remember.
Saturday. So Oktoberfest, I think, starts at 3. We're planning on starting at noon at Taps on Main. They're expecting us. They're staffed up for it. I talked to the owner yesterday. They're staffed up, but keep in mind, most places are still struggling to be fully staffed. So be patient. They're going to have 3 kegs of Labatt Blue tapped at all times. They're going to have 2 behind the bar if you're one of those people who traditionally likes to just get the bartender to serve you your beer. But they're actually known for having a pour your own beer wall, which I don't know if I think they just opened one of these in Buffalo. where you get a little card from the bartender, and then you can go and pour your own beer, and they'll have one of the Labatt Blues on there if you want to control your intake. The nice thing about that is if you only want to buy a half a beer, you can just buy half a beer, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and they got plenty of beer options on the wall, different things, everything from IPAs, sours, seltzers, you name it, it's on there, and they've got different size glasses, so definitely try some different stuff. Try some Kansas City beer. It's pretty good. It's not Labatt. It's quite a bit more expensive. I was there last night, and I noticed Labatt is definitely the cheapest beer on the wall. So drink up. We'll have 3 kegs of it, I guess, tapped at all times. So that's good.
I think we got it down. So normally they charge $5 a glass for Labatt down here. That's kind of the going rate. They're also downtown, so prices are a little higher, but that's actually low for the area. But I think Grant told me last night that they're going to be pricing it at $4 per glass, so they're taking $1 off. It's kind of like this. We'll call it an all-day happy hour special for Labatt Blue.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And then Oktoberfest, I don't know. Are they still doing those beer lover package, or was that a pre-sale only thing?
I have not checked recently, and I have not officially bought my ticket for the Oktoberfest yet, but that is something that's happening. Oktoberfest is happening right in KC Live, which is where we wanted to kind of end the night. And I thought it was kind of cool that Oktoberfest happens to be happening at the same time. So lots of German beers, and it's right along the streetcar, which I think I said that I'd release a starred map of the streetcar. I don't think I'm going to have time to do that. But I will pin out things as we start moving from bar to bar. I'll probably be like the engine, and then we'll have someone as the caboose to just kind of keep an eye on different bars and see how much they fill up. I anticipate with as many Bills fans as we're getting, this is going to fill up fast. So we're probably going to need to spread out between a few bars.
Yeah, it'll be a blast just getting to spend time with y'all. This is like something I've been looking forward to since scheduled release. Definitely was looking forward to it. An AFC Championship game. We just obviously COVID really messed with that quite a bit. So getting everybody into town is going to be a good time. That beer lovers package I was mentioning, if it is available, definitely recommend it. I believe you get 3 beers included in that. And typically those are $10 a piece if you're buying them at Power and Light. So it's a hell of a deal. You're getting it way cheaper. And you get admission. I can't remember how much the regular ticket is to get into the $10. And I think it's $30, and you get the beer lovers pass. So at that point, I mean, you're getting 3 beers for $10. Why not?
Zach is a man who can't refuse a deal. So that's happening at the end, towards the end of the evening and towards the afternoon. There's also other places if you're not interested in Oktoberfest. There's a brewery that is right down in the River Market area called Strange Days Brewing. That is a great place to check out. They're kind of a soccer bar, which is interesting, but they're a brewery primarily. So if you're a craft beer guy, check them out. There's a river market down, I said it's called River Market because there's a river market down there. Go figure, duh. But there is isn't there a bar down there as well? There's a couple bars and pizza places.
Yeah.
There's a hockey bar down there called the Blue Line if you are a St. Louis Blues fan, or if you just want to see a cool hockey bar.
I will say as well, there will be a group of people at Al's on Saturday as well. So depending on where you're going to be staying, definitely still an option to go to Al's. But obviously, as discussed about earlier, they are limited in capacity. So just know I wouldn't label that as your only thing you want to do, because there's a possibility you'll show up and won't be able to be served. They're just like everybody else right now. It's hard to staff places, especially it's just hard to get people to work. So I think they're worried about that with their limited space. But definitely an option. And worst comes to worst, you could always Uber from Al's downtown. I think last time I looked at, now this is not during peak hours, $50 to Uber downtown. So you can get a carload of people, 4 guys, and split that. And it's not too bad, and get downtown. So
yeah, besides that, that's really all I had to touch on tonight. I guess we haven't gotten too many questions, so if you have additional questions, just, I guess, message me on Twitter or whatever. I can't promise I can get back to you though, because I gotta, I'm trying to enjoy myself this weekend too.
Yeah, I definitely either reach out to the Bills Backers at KC account, or the KC Bills Pod is also a good option, or our Facebook group, Bills Backers of Kansas City. If you post something on there, there's quite a few of our Bills Backers member from our chapter that are definitely knowledgeable about things and are more than willing to get on there and reply to you. We're great people. We love to get together and drink on Sundays and have a good time together. So we're looking forward to having you guys, hosting you here, and hopefully we bring home the win.
Yeah. So I'm Dirty Randy, and that's Zach Bass, and as always, go
Go
Bills.
Bills.